Good morning, Missy. How you doing, Mama? You ready to milk? You ready to milk, Mama bear? Good sheep. Yeah. Good morning, turd birds. Good morning, turd birds. Happy chickens. Good boy, Jerry. Good chickens. Time to clean the coop. I've been keeping just that open down there to keep the wild birds out. All but the smartest. Alrighty. Boop. You can encourage the flow to go through the tighter areas of the puck by leaning this espresso maker to one side or the other. It'll help to get it to start flowing in that area. Awesome. Thank you, goodness. Thank you, God. The milk is just as fine a foam as the crema. Jenny, Bo Jenny, you ready to milk, Mama? What a good sheep. All right, I'm getting my portions figured out. So my fridge is able to easily accommodate 1 gallon. I got two half-gallon jars that fit perfectly in the back of my fridge. This is 1 gallon and a quart from this morning that I'm processing. And it looks like it's going to fill up these new bottles that fit perfectly to the very top of the inside of my fridge. So these are going to be my new cream, not only my butter shaking containers, but they're going to be what I catch my cream in. I'll use the first half, and then when it starts to sour naturally, that's perfect. When it starts to sour on the lower half, I'll be able to shake it into butter, and that butter is more flavorful anyway. Butter shaken from sour cream is so much better, so much more flavorful. So yeah, this is I'm getting it figured out, the workflow and everything, and the ratios. Oh, thank God, it's taking a while. Set it back out in the sun. Make cheese, please. I would have liked to know this information when I started making cheese. Okay, so you just asked, what cheese do I like making the best that would preserves the longest? Right. The first thing that you realize is that, okay, well, when I make it too dry and make it too preserved, then it's limited in its usability, its versatility. Like if I make a Parmesan, I can only shave it off, and even then it's like it doesn't melt. The things that they're doing to cheese nowadays is not natural. The cultures that every cheese uses are individual specialty strains within the wide spectrum of that family of cultures. It's a specific strain that has been tested to produce the most buttery flavor, or this one produces a little bit of a peppery flavor. There's 4 different types of families of bacteria. The blue cheeses, the penicilliums, and then the geotrichum are the white, blooming white rinds like the breeze. And then B. linen family of microbes. They make the stinky cheeses. Cheese that you can buy at the store nowadays is 90% likely it is a GMO created culture. I can recreate ice cream better than ice cream that's in the store. I cannot recreate any cheese better than any cheese that's in the store because of the cultures they're using. The cultures they're using are like they went through and they genetically sequenced every single one of the strains that's in each of these families, and they found this one gives off the most of this chemical that equates to a buttery flavor in our cheeses. And so literally every cheese that's on the shelf at the store is made by a culture selection and breeding process that you cannot replicate on a farm. A homemade cheese flavor cannot contend it can contend on a level of complexity. That's the only way that it can contend. Because all cheeses on the shelf have a specialty, at least one specialty culture that has been unnaturally selected and bred to make that cheese. It's kind of like a mono culture. It's going to have more of a punch of that one flavor that it's been bred to produce, but it's not going to have any complexity or any back notes or anything like that natural rind cheeses would create if you were not inoculating them with refined cultures and you were just letting their natural cultures that were in the milk develop the flavors and or the environmental microbes developing the cheeses. You're going to get less punch and distinction of any one flavor with my cheeses or with any natural homestead cheese, but you're going to get more nuance of the flavors. You gotta let go of competing for the flavor, and you gotta like go for the nuance, but then you gotta address the texture, because the texture is shit for anything that's not mozzarella. They're not going to be impressed with anything you do other than smoked mozzarella, what I'm making now. I'm never gonna make another cheese again. It doesn't make any sense. I could age it in my cheese cave for 1 to 3 months in order for it to age long enough for the microbes to eat the flesh and convert it physically into having a different texture, having a more smooth or meltable texture. I can either hold on to it and pull it around, 30 pounds of cheese while it ages for 3 months, or if I make mozzarella pucks each time instead of regular pucks, it's a little bit extra work, but what that means is that I have faith that I could pull that out of a cheese cave at any moment in the next 3 months and hand it to you, or hand it to anyone that's hooked on engineered cheeses, and they would be appreciative enough of it, of that cheese. Whereas like I literally am so self-conscious about even letting people taste any of the other cheeses, because it's a complete question of whether they are aged long enough to be converted physically into a good texture and also enough complexity of flavor that it's just not bland. But then that window is like it can go over because I'm not using 55-degree cheese caves. I'm using 70, 75 degrees, 65 degree, like best at this 100-degree days. And so it ripens faster, and I have to catch that window is smaller to catch it in that perfect. But you don't have to worry about a window so much if you're just making mozzarellas. You can age mozzarella too. Aged mozzarella is provolone. Texture is almost just as important as the flavor, if not more important. And so it's because you can add flavor. Like if you add just one smoking application, then no one can pick up on it that it's even smoked, but it adds complexity to it as though you're picking up on it like it's flavor, but you can't tell that it's smoked. And then, so if you make smoked mozzarella, they can immediately be appreciated by anyone, and they can increasingly be appreciated by people up to, I don't know how long. I know provolones, I've never made provolone, but because I can't age mozzarella because I eat it. I don't want it but I've never tried to make every single one of my batches mozzarella like I'm about to start doing now. If anyone's ever passing through Southern Oregon who's subscribed to my channel and a supporter, they want to meet up briefly, I'm always down for that, for an initial brief meetup. Most people just want to small talk, and it just makes them anxious to talk about anything that's higher nature, bigger picture problem, or solutions. The world is suffering, and it could be better spent alone, trying to pray and receive these more solutions. This is gonna be amazing now. Oh, my sheep's mozzarella. Look at that. Perfectly done inside. Thank you, God. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Sheep's sour cream. Ashland sourdough bread. Yeah, Rose alfalfa field here is awesome for more than just the sheep. It's just got tons of lamb's quarter growing in it. Lamb's quarter. That's all lamb's quarter over there. And it's got freaking purslane. And it's like August. Purslane usually dries up first thing, like before summer. Back in like latest you see is like around here is June, if the heat hasn't set in yet. Yeah, I got lamb's quarter, tons of lamb's quarter, tons of purslane, and the sheep got tons of veggies too. Oh my goodness. Sourdough bread with my sheep's cheese in the middle, my sheep's butter on top. Sourdough starter with my sheep's whey left over from making cheese each week. All right, my missy, miss alarm clock. Thank you, Mama. You're ready to milk. Oh, you're ready to milk. Sticking your head in here, waking me up. Oh, yes, you're the best alarm clock ever with the best breath. I love your breath. It's so exotic. So strange, so strange, so strange, yes.